Stepping out into the sunshine of a beautiful early spring afternoon, I sighed contentedly. I'd always wanted to make it to the bicentennial mark, so today's birthday was a little extra special, and it didn't even bother me that I'd have to meet the boss before I could clear my calendar for the rest of the day of self-care. I badly needed pampering. Walking down the 3 brick steps from the back door of my 3-level home off 33rd Street in the heart of Georgetown, I headed along the paved pathway to my detached garage, opening the door and flicking on the lights. In the center of the garage was my brand new Porsche 718 Cayman in Arctic gray. She'd been the perfect birthday present to celebrate my 200th year. "Hello, Luna," I whispered, caressing her roof. I name all my cars, just like I'd once named all my horses. Luna had arrived in my driveway on the night of a full moon, so her name was rather obvious. Her beautiful Arctic gray color also helped to inspire the moniker. With another contented sigh, I opened the door and hopped in, then started her up, hearing the thrum of the engine like a million bees under the hood being awakened from their slumber. Backing out of the tiny driveway to the street, I spun the wheel and punched the gas, thrilling at the sudden burst of speed. My grin was wide when I took the tight corner, then slowed down just enough not to attract too much attention. Still, I couldn't help humming a happy tune while I thought about the meeting I was headed to. I had just closed a very difficult caper involving an unbound with a case of sticky fingers and a talent for disguise. It had taken me over a week to finally track him down, and he didn't give up his trinket easily. No, I'd had to persuade him. Such an unpleasant experience for him. Right now, the trinket was safely tucked away in my purse, and it was about to be reunited with its owner. Weaving in and out of the mid-afternoon traffic, I was able to gain some speed once I hit the Washington Memorial Highway. One glance at the clock on the dash told me I wasn't in danger of being late for my meeting, something I have never been in the 180 years I'd been working for my employer, Elric Östergaard. Elric doesn't tolerate tardiness. He views it as an insult, and I've had the misfortune of seeing what happens to a few of my peers when Elric feels insulted. Let's just say that it's generally unpleasant and likely to involve a dragon. No kidding. I headed south at a good clip before taking the exit for Alexandria, which is simply the quaintest little town. If I hadn't owned my home since the late 1880s, I might have settled in Alexandria. Still, it's likely a good thing that I'm not closer to work. There are far too many sniveling, simpering mystics in that town, all vying for Elric's good graces. They should know better. Elric has no good graces. Well, except perhaps where I'm concerned. Avoiding the underground garage, I opted for the sizable parking lot of his headquarters and parked at the back, away from the crowded spaces, closer to the building. I wanted Luna to enjoy the sunshine without fear of being scratched. Grabbing my purse, phone, and key fob, I hurried out of the lot, around the building, and over to the front entrance. Pushing my way through the revolving door, I came into the lobby and scanned the area to see if there were any familiar faces. There weren't, which was probably a good thing if I'm being honest. Mystics overall are very manipulative creatures, always looking for an angle to work, an advantage to gain, or someone to manipulate. It's wearisome. Bypassing the information desk, I headed to the elevator where only one other person was standing. He turned when I stepped up next to him, and I could feel his gaze traveling up and down my body in a crude, lecherous way. "You must be new here," I said softly. "Why do you say that?" he asked, just as softly. "Because men who stare at me, the way you are right now, don't tend to leave the building in one piece.